Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. So we are going to discuss about civil services test, aptitude test, CSAT, right? So we are going to discuss a preliminary stage that includes general studies and civil services aptitude test, that is CSAT. Clear? Then we are going to talk about main stage, which includes 9 theory papers, GS 1 to 4, language papers, essay and optional. Then we are going to move on to the personality test that includes the interview for checking your personality, for testing your personality. Then we move on to the exam pattern and syllabus for UPSC prelims. There would be 2 compulsory papers, GS General Studies Paper 1 and General Studies Paper 2, that is GS Paper 1, GS Paper 2. Then the number of questions asked in Paper 1 would be 100. In totality, you will be having 100 questions in your paper, in your GS Paper 1. Then the number of questions asked in Civil Services Aptitude would be 80. Clear? And total number of marks would be 400. So in totality, your paper, the weightage of your paper would be 400. GS paper 1 would be for 200 marks and CSAT would be for 200 marks. So this would make up to 400. Clear? I hope it's clear. Then negative marking, 1/3 of the total marks allotted to the question will be deducted for every wrong answer. So you will be having negative marking. Time allotted 2 hours each. So 2 hours each is the time allotted to such paper. GS paper 1 and CSAT paper would be having 2 hours, right? Then we move on to the 2 papers of the Ias prelims are discussed in detail below. General Studies. The General Studies test is the first paper of the preliminary examination. So for the prelims, the General Studies test is the first paper. The test is intended to test the general awareness of a candidate in a wide range of subjects that include Indian polity, geography, history, Indian economy, science and technology, environment and ecology, international relations and associated UPSC current affairs. So basically, they would be checking your awareness, how aware you are about the current affairs, about the society, about what is happening in the society, why is it happening. Everything needs to be covered under the same roof. Clear? Under the roof of Ias examination. Then Civil Services Aptitude Test, talking about that generally it is conducted between 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. The timings have been mentioned over here. The UPSC prelims syllabus for CSAT intends to assess the aptitude of the candidate in solving reasoning and analytical questions. Apart from reading comprehension and occasionally asked decision-making questions, the decision-making based questions are generally exempted from negative marks. So whenever we talk about decision-making questions, they would be exempted from negative marking. To be noted, the preliminary examination is only meant for screening a candidate for the subsequent stages of the examination. Very important. The marks obtained in the prelims will not be added up while arriving at the final rank list. The subjects included in the prelims are common for all. Clear? However, there is an option to opt for a few fields for a few subjects in the mains phase of the examination. UPSC syllabus for GS paper. Current events of national and international importance, history of India and Indian national movement, Indian and world geography, physical, social and economic geography of India and the world, Indian polity and governance, constitution, political system, panchayati raj, public policy, rights, issues, etc., economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, social sector, initiatives, etc., general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change that do not require subject specialization. So all these areas are of pivotal importance you need to keep in mind all these areas. Clear? Then UPSC syllabus for CSAT prelims paper 2, comprehension, interpersonal skills including communication skills, logical reasoning and analytical ability, decision making and problem solving, general mental ability, basic numeracy, numbers and their relations, orders of magnitude, etc. class up to class 10th level, data interpretation, charts, graphs, tables, data sufficiency, etc. class 10th level. Candidates are advised to refer to the following links below for CSAT. Now, for paper 1 essay can be written in the medium of the candidate's choice, which would be for 250 marks. Then general studies 1, Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world and society. General studies paper 3, general studies 2, governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relations. Paper 4, general studies 3, technology, economic development, biodiversity, security and disaster management. General paper 5, general studies 4, ethics, integrity and aptitude. Paper 6, optional subject paper 1. Paper 7, optional subject paper 2. All these papers would be for 250 marks. The mains examination constitutes the second phase of the civil services examination. Only after successfully qualifying in the prelims exam would the candidates be allowed to write the IAS mains. Clear? Only after clearing prelims you would be eligible for mains. The mains exam tests the candidate's academic talent in depth and his or her ability to present his or her understanding according to the requirements of the question in a time-bound manner. UPSC mains exam consists of 9 papers, out of which 2 are qualifying papers of 300 marks each. The 2 qualifying papers are any Indian language paper and English language paper. The papers on essay, general studies and optional subject of only such candidates who attain 25% marks in both the language papers as a minimum qualifying standard in qualifying papers will be taken cognizance of for evaluation. In case a candidate does not qualify in these language papers, then the marks obtained by such candidates will not be considered or be counted. General Studies 1, also called paper 2 of UPSC mains, it covers Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world and society. The detailed UPSC syllabus for this paper is given below. Indian culture will cover the salient aspects of art forms, literature and architecture from ancient to modern times. Modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present, since significant events, personalities, issues, the freedom struggle, its various stages and important contributions or contributors from different parts of the country, post-independence, consolidation and recognition of the within the country. History of the world will include events from 18th century such as Industrial Revolution, World Wars, withdrawal of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization and political philosophies like communism, capitalism, socialism, etc. Their forms and effect on the society, salient features of the Indian society, diversity of India, role of women, women's organization, population and associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization and their problems and their remedies. Effects of globalization on economy, on Indian society or the economy, social, environmental empowerment, communalism, regionalism, and secularism. Salient features of world's physical geography, distribution of key natural resources across the world, including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary, and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world, including India. Important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, etc., geographical features and their location, changes in critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps and flora and fauna, and the effects of such changes. General Studies 2 is also called Paper 3. Again, very important. General Studies 2 is also called Paper 3 of UPSC Mains. It majorly covers governance, constitution, polity, social justice, and international relations. The detailed UPSC syllabus for this paper is given below. Constitution of India, historical underpinnings, evolution, features, amendments, significant provisions, and basic structure, functions and responsibilities of the Union and the states, issues and challenges pertaining to federal structure, devolution of powers and finances up to local levels and challenges therein, separation of powers between various organs, dispute redressal mechanisms and institutions, comparison of the Indian constitutional scheme with that of other countries. Moving on to the next slide, what we get to see is Parliament and state legislatures, structures, functioning, conduct of business, powers and privileges and issues arising out of these, such structure, organization and functioning of the executive and the judiciary, ministries and departments of government, pressure groups and formal informal associations and their role in the polity, salient features of the Representation of People's Act, appointment to various constitutional posts, powers, functions and responsibilities of various constitutional bodies, statutory, regulatory and various quasi-judicial bodies, government policies and interventions for development in various sectors and issues arising out of their design and implementation, development processes and the development industry, the role of NGOs, SHGs, various groups and associations, donors, charities, institutional and other stakeholders, welfare schemes for vulnerable section of the population by the center and states and the performance of these schemes, mechanisms, laws, institutions and bodies constituted for protection and betterment of these vulnerable sections, issues relating to development and management of social sector services relating to health, education, human resources, issues relating to poverty and hunger, important aspects of governance and transparency, e-governance applications models, successes, limitations and potential citizens, characters, transparency and accountability and institutional and role of civil services and democracy role of civil services and democracy in a democracy, India and its neighborhood relations, role of civil services in a democracy, India and its neighborhood relations, bilateral and regional global groupings and agreements involving India and or affecting India's interests, effect of policies and politics of developed, undeveloped